Hello and welcome back to Bunnex Investment Group. In this video, we are going to focus on one pattern to make a living at trading any market. Might be Forex, crypto, indices, any tradable asset. Alright, so basically what if I told you that trading may be extremely easy? A lot of you have this mindset that trading is extremely difficult. Yes, of course, if you want to make it extremely difficult, it can be. And if you want it to be extremely easy, it can be as well. Very easy that you feel like it is illegal to know what I'm about to show you. So, firstly, I need to ask you, can you wait? And can you repeat something over and over again? Of course, we may actually say all stuff, but are you able to wait if I give you this methodology? Or are you able to repeat it over and over again using the same rules that I'll give you? If you are, it actually signifies that you are ready to cash out from the Forex market. But before you continue, check out my free Telegram channel, Bunnex Investment Group. I'll put the link in the description box below, where you will receive free advice, free trading setups, as well as free trading tips. Alright, so firstly, we need to cultivate the rightful state of mind for us to actually see this pattern work and actually able to quit our job if we do it correctly. So we say without discipline, even the best strategy fails. If you do not have discipline, you will never achieve anything in your life. In trading, not trading is often the most smartest move. What do we mean by that? In some cases, you are supposed to sit on your hands and do not take any action. No matter how good you are, losses are guaranteed. I come across a lot of traders who actually think that any strategy that they have is going to eliminate losses. If ever you find the sole reason why a lot of traders fail to make significant progress in this business, it is all because they cannot accept that losses are guaranteed. The scale in the mind between emotions and logic determines success. So basically, this is what this image is actually all about. The trading mind, which is a scale that consists of a balance of trading emotions and the logic, the analysis against the trading emotions, which are greed and fear, are actually, you need to actually find that balance to actually make it. So basically, this is to cultivate your mindset before we talk about the pattern that now I'm about to show you. All right, so basically we'll start on the template of the pattern. This is what a trading week look like. We actually start off with a consolidation and get a stop hand induction move in the opposite direction the market makers intend to take. Why am I saying market makers? In this market that we are trading, we have opponents. If I can say, we have people who have access to large amounts of capital who actually controls how it moves. So basically, they issue these particular moves called the inducement stop hand moves, and most of the cases they are imprinted in the consolidations that it will be easier for you if you are not, it will be very difficult for you to see them if you are not trained. So from these particular moves, we actually get day 1, day 2, day 3, and we reach a point which we say the midweek reversal point. So midweek reversal point doesn't mean it's the middle of the week. Midweek reversal point can be issued at the start of the week, any time of the week. What we actually will be referring to is basically a reversal of the move that has been issued from the start to the end of the week. You actually understand this concept much more when we jump over the charts. Then we have day 2, day 3, and we reach a reversal point which we term the peak formation high in this particular instance. If it was an inverse, we were going to say the peak formation low, and we have another move right to end into another consolidation so that they will prepare either to go down or to go up like this. So this move is basically the same as this particular move. All right, so let's define levels before we talk much about our stuff. So here, the first thing that we need to highlight is understanding that a peak formation is determined after a flow of 3 to 5 days of rise. So we are saying when we have day 1 of rise, day 2 of rise, day 3 of rise, and we see a reversal, this is peak formation high and it is valid. Why? Because there are 3 days of rise like this. So a level is equivalent to a day of rise or drop. What we call a level is basically a day that is rising. We can see the low and high of this day, the low and high of the following day, low and high of this day. They are days where the market was actually rising. So when we have 3 to 5 days prior to a reversal, that reversal is valid for us to say it is a peak formation high or a peak formation low. We need to validate a peak formation as a reversal point reached after 3 or 5 days of rise or drop. So let's explain the strategy. As always, trading the market maker method, we need EMAs, which are 5, 13, 50, 200 and 800. I'm sure if you've been following this channel, you now understand the EMAs that I always use. After peak formation has been issued, validation, we need to make sure that that peak formation, like in this case, it is 1, 2, 3 days of rise. Therefore, this is a peak formation high that is valid. We now wait for the first touch of the 50 EMA, meaning that coming off this particular point, we want this peak to lock, and after that peak locks, by locking we imply to 13 crossing 50 whilst this first move is being issued or this first day of drop is being issued. If we see the peak lock, we want to get the first touch of the 50 at this particular point before we go to termination of that flow. So we enter after the market closes below the 50 and the 13, as well as targeting one average daily range, or basically ADR in short. Let's define this on the charts. I understand that it might not mean anything whilst we are explaining it on the slides like this. But before we dive into the examples, I want you to see this trading robot. And this trading robot is very powerful. It can actually pass prop firms for you, grow small accounts, practice proper risk management for you, as well as consistency. That particular balance of emotions and logic will actually be cancelled because this trades automatically for you, and it's 50 to 60% accurate. Turned $1,000 into $500,000 in 5 years on testing. Get your copy. It's actually a lifetime copy for $249, and it is yours. Let's jump over the examples. All right, so this is pound against dollar, and the first thing that we are going to do is to basically find the peak formation high or peak formation low. So in my case, I can see clearly and easily this is a peak formation high. Why? Because there are 3 days, or actually we had 1, 2, 3, 4 days prior to its formation. So this reversal point locked at this particular point where we saw a 13 crossing a 50. There was a 13 crossing 50 here, and after that we've said the first touch of the 50, which is this particular point, and the market closes right below the 13 and the 50. So basically our point was going to be at this particular zone, and our stop loss right above the high, which is this one. And we can see that a 2-to-1 swing was actually satisfied easily. So we've said peak formation, look for a lock and then confirm. A lock was issued at this particular point, which is here, 13 crossing 50. Is this lock valid, right? If we are to check the prior move, are there 3 or 5 days of drop? There are plenty of them, meaning that this is actually a valid peak formation low. No need to stress yourself counting levels, but to actually validate if there are prior 3 or 5 days of drop. We can see the first touch of the 50 was actually at this particular point, 1 ADR, which is supposed to be given by, you can actually use an indicator, was actually going to be satisfied because first touch, stop loss below structure, and take profit at 2-to-1 was going to be issued. Here we can see there was 1, 2, 3 going to the upside, meaning this point was actually a valid peak formation high. After that valid peak formation high, what did we get? We got our first touch of the 50 at this particular point. Entry below the 13 EMA and a 2-to-1 reward to risk was actually issued. Do not overthink. I understand that in your mind there are a lot of racing thoughts. How am I going to do that? Yes, you are going to find some other points where you will lose. This particular point which logged here is valid. Why? Because there was 3 days or 5 days of drop to the downside, and then we had the first push to the upside, consolidation, first touch of the 50 was at this particular point, and the market went our way basically like that. Stop loss below the structure. And if we keep on going, there was a lock here, another lock after how many? 3 days to 5 days of rise. Sometimes there will be more. And we had this as our peak formation high. After that peak formation high, what did we get? We got our first touch of the 50 at this particular point. Our entry right below the 13 EMA or below the 50 EMA like this, and the market gave us a beautiful flow to the downside. Right, here's another point where you are going to make a loss. Why? Because we had this particular peak formation low, right? So this particular peak formation low had been something that we could validate, and a crossover of the 1350. After that, we can see that this candle, this green candle, actually pointed us to go long, right? Since we had a valid point, a valid peak, and after getting in at this particular point, we actually went, yes, of course, into a small profit, but later our take profit was definitely going to be taken out, and then the market later went our way after taking us out. So this is a point where we cannot, or the point that I was saying, losses are guaranteed. But you can see that although you have mastered this particular pattern, you can as well increase how you are going to filter out bad trades from these or other trades, and that now can be done using the one-on-one mentorship program. This is now for serious traders, those who want to actually make it in trading. If you are someone who is serious about turning your trading into a powerful and sustainable source of income, this is for you. Use the link in the description. I only take a few students on a first come, first served basis. On that note, we've come to the end of our today's video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and check out our free educational Telegram channel via the link in the description.